just been a few people asking about settings on the Equinox 800 or 900 for gold, and also people asking questions about the difference between a gold monster and a Equinox when it comes to small gold. So I just wanted to do a quick short video just showing how we would set this up for gold. We would use a small coil, a 6-inch coil that comes with the Equinox 900 is perfect. Failing that, you could use a 10x5 Tech coil, aftermarket coil, and obviously the gold monster it now comes standard with the 5-inch coil, which is perfect. With the Equinox 900, once you go into gold mode, it actually turns off a lot of the features and a lot of the audio profile options in that particular program. So you're just running one tone. It's for 40 kilohertz. It's a little bit more of a zippy signal as opposed to the gold monster, which is a 45 kilohertz, and the processor in that is just driven to hone in on those gold nuggets. So a lot more powerful, like a lot more powerful than this machine. But you definitely would go for a 900 or an 800 if you're wanting to use that machine for park, field, beach, and gold field. So really good all-rounder, but the gold monster definitely has an edge. I'll just show you. We'll turn on the first one. It's on the Equinox 900, and I'll try and get in as close as I can here for you guys. So first of all, we just do a noise cancel because we're in the warehouse here, so we can get it run a little bit quieter. You'll notice in goldfield mode here we don't have any options for tones. It's locked into one tone. The recovery, now I actually with this small coil, counterintuitive to what I would normally do, if you want to gain depth you would decrease your recovery speed, but because I want to increase the target response in shallow ground, which is the normal sort of ground that I would use a 900 in, like creeks, mullock piles, washouts, etc. I'll actually crank that recovery all the way up to 8. I'll show you what that does. So here I've got a little small, it's about 0.15 gram nugget. You hear that? Solid, repeatable target, both directions. But you do have to be swinging slow to hear that drawn out response. That's only running sensitivity. Hang on. Sensitivity is 12. So if we drop that right down to 5, you just hear that breaking threshold. If we're out in the field and the ground's not too mineralized and we're able to run it higher, which that's going to become pretty unstable in here, of course you'll get more sensitivity, more depth. So that's still running quite high recovery speed. So if we jump back into recovery, so we drop that down to 2. See how much extra depth we're getting there now? Probably gain an extra 2 inches of depth. And still a very prominent target. So that's really the trade-off between depth and recovery speed is not as important in this small coil, unless if you're searching for gold. Generally, this sort of gold is generally sitting, shallow in the bedrock, and that's where these machines do really well. That's where VLFs do really well on the gold fields. Full stop. Now, if we turn this guy off, jump over to the gold monster, I'll show you exactly the same piece of gold and the audio profile. The gold monster. So what are we looking at? We're around about 11 o'clock in sensitivity there. We're in gold mode. Pull this cover off, should be a bit easier to see. It's running very quiet. Hear that different audio? Very prominent. And likelihood of gold being quite high. I don't rely on that too much. I'm really listening for that quite nice high chirpy tone, but also repeatable both ways. Your ground noise targets will generally, you'll hear it one way, and when you pass back over the coil they kind of disappear. This one's very obvious. So, which machine do you buy when you get interested in getting into gold? The fact is, if you are primarily interested in gold, the Gold Monster is always going to be a better machine for you. But you may actually end up utilising some of the features in the Equinox that you didn't think you were going to use if you limit yourself to only a Gold Monster. But you can buy a beach coin relic machine pretty inexpensive these days and add to that. So like an Xterra Pro, for example, $500 would be ideal. You have a Gold Monster, Xterra Pro, you've got the best of both worlds, two separate machines. This is my favourite mod. Oops, let me just turn that off. On a Gold Monster, this is a carbon retractable shaft. Makes the machine very small, which is really cool if you like going into mine shafts. Not nice and close. Also packs down really well, but it also has quite a long shaft if you're a tall bloke. So I didn't want this video to drag on too much, guys. I just wanted to show how you can set this machine up to really hear those little small targets. And the key with VLFs is solid repeatable targets both directions. And if you think it's a hot rock, pop it in your pocket, take it home, hit it with a dolly pot. 9 times out of 10 when I get a hot rock on a Gold Monster, it's got disseminated gold in it. That's all from me today, folks.